Mingus Marauder Varsity Baseball is on the air. Your 2023 Marauders on KYBC AM 1600 and Verde Valley TV are proudly sponsored by Lawler Construction, quality built homes and commercial projects. Northern Arizona Healthcare, improving health and healing people. All Price Insurance, low monthly rates on reliable insurance. Mingus Marauder Baseball is also brought to you by Taylor Waste, service tailored to your needs. Red Rock Collision, locally and family owned and working for you, not the insurance company. And Arizona Smile Designers, smile big, smile bright. Visit azsmiledesigners.com. And now, let's go out to the diamond for today's Mingus Marauder game. With the play-by-play, here's Jackie Bessler.
And welcome one and all here to Mingus Union High School, home of the Marauders, as the Mingus Marauders will take on the Wolves here from Estrella Foothills. Coming up, making the hill. The national anthem has been played, and in fact, we are just about underway under cloudy skies, trying to keep the rain away. In fact, expecting high temperatures of about 57 degrees, winds out of the south-southwest at about 12 miles an hour. Old Glory very lightly waving toward left field out here today as we get underway. The Mingus Marauders, of course, will be at home here today as we take a look at what they have done over the last couple of days since we have seen them. It has been a ride for the Mingus Marauders. In fact, they went down to Tucson to do a whole tournament and came back and ended up in the tournament tying El Paso Leadership Academy East 9-9, lost to South Point Catholic 7-1, beat Benson by a score of 16-6, and then lost to Push Ridge Christian Academy 10-0. Mingus Marauders come in with a record of 3-8-1, and we are just about underway here. Stepping into bat number one is DeMario Faison, and the first pitch is going to be called strike one. Faison, the right fielder, will be first playing center field. Blake Miller plays second base and bats second. Landon Sloan will be the DH and bats third. Next one popped up short, right center field. Second baseman is out and dives for it and makes the catch. Ben Balo with an over-the-shoulder kind of catch falling down, and they pop out for out number one here today. Julian Esquer is on the mound here for the Mingus Marauders, the righty. Now faces a lefty. That would be Blake Miller. First pitch to him is high and stays outside. Ball one. So the Wolves from Estrella Foothills come in with a rather impressive record to start off with. Ball two, a little bit on the outside. The Wolves come in, well, last year they were 21-6. In fact, lost in the first round, the play-in round, to Prescott by a score of 10-4. Line drive toward the hole. Shortstop's up with it. Pops across the diamond. Long throw too late. Infield hit for Miller as he gets to first base. Deep in the hole, Miller had a shot at it. When he couldn't cut it off, Godina wasn't going to be able to get to him and get it across the diamond in time. So 1-on-1 out here at Mingus Union High School. No score, first inning action. Landon Sloan steps up. He's the DH. The third baseman, Jordan Linton, is on deck here for the visiting Wolves. Esquer goes over to first, back without a problem, safe. Buckner's behind the plate as we take a look at it. The Mingus Marauders defensively out here today, and that one is in for a strike. One strike count, 0-1 on the DH. Right to left on the outfield, it's going to be Rodriguez in right, McGurk in center. Little will be in left field here today. Miller's at third, Godinez at short, Belos at second, and Davis is at first. 1-1 is the count as that one's high. Schauer's on the mound here. Julian is throwing to his backstop, which is Buckner. 1-1 the count. 1 on, 1 out. And that one is going to be low, 2-1. Estrella Foothills. 10-1 record coming into today. And swings at a high fastball. Strike 2. That evens up the count, 2-2 on the DH. Pop out to start the game. Then an infield single by Miller, and then Sloan comes up. The DH has got a 2-2 count. Pretty middle of the box out there. Schauer with his windup. There's the delivery, and out in front of it, strike 3. Gets the K. Swing and strike, and that is 2 out here in the top of the first. And that brings up Linton, the third baseman. Rawlings, the first baseman, is on deck as we get a few sprinkles out here. Speaking of sprinkles, we're supposed to be back tomorrow for the Thunderbirds here at Mingus Union High School. We'll see if the weather's going to cooperate as we see ball 1. The wind's starting to kick up. Sprinkles happening here. Not enough to stop the game at this particular point, but we'll see how it rains tonight and tomorrow to see if the field will be in a position for tomorrow. Runner takes off. Buckner throws the ball down. Great throw. Gets him out. Caught stealing. Will end the inning. What a cannon from the Mingus Marauder backstop. Nails him at second base, and just like that, Mingus gets him shut out here in the first inning. So Mingus will be coming up here in just a moment. It'll be McGurk, Godina, and Buckner for the Mingus Marauders when we return to Mingus Union High School after this.
The mouth is the gateway to the digestive system. Studies indicate a correlation between oral health and full body health. Regular cleanings and checkups can help protect you. New patients are welcome at Arizona Smile Designers in Cottonwood. There's a full smile worth of services all offered under one roof. Whitening and cosmetic to implants and smile reconstruction. Find out more or request an appointment online at azsmiledesigners.com.
Back here at Mingus Union High School, you can hear the wind kicking up here as the Mingus Marauders coming up in the bottom of the first inning. This is the kind of game where you want to get up on top quickly just in case they've got to call it. And you want to be on the, the leading side before that one goes awry. We're going to find out what's going to happen here tomorrow as the Mingus Marauders are set to do battle with the Thunderbirds from Mojave. It'll be the Grand Canyon Region Grand Opener, and it'll be the home opener for the Grand Canyon Region for the Mingus Marauders. Well, hopefully, like to see us have that happen and make that take place. But we will see if Mother Nature is going to participate with that. First one is going to be high out there to McGurk, the center fielder, who leads off. Defensively for the visiting Wolves, it's going to be Peterson in right field. Faison in center field, Schaefer in left, and there's the pitch. Line drive, center field, has a center fielder going back, and he will track it down. Gave it a ride to dead center field, and that one is hard to judge, and Faison runs it down, tracks it down in center field for out number 1. A line out by McGurk. He was definitely on it to center field, and that brings up Godina. Godina likes to be called Pops. Batting number 2 here for the Mingus Marauders. Buckner's on deck, and there's strike 1. Becker's on the mound for the visiting Wolves. The righty delivers, and that one is popped up right-hand side. Could be in play, and the first baseman takes his hat off and comes in and makes the play. That's going to be Rawlings, able to stay with it. Squeeze it for out number 2, and that brings up Buckner. Buckner steps in, leads the Mingus Marauders in batting average. Watched him hit a home run to right center field in the first game. He was on it, man. He was absolutely on it. That's going to go toward the hole. Run down by the second baseman, and he throws it, and safe, not in time. Great effort out there by Blake Miller at second base as he runs it down, slides, loses the footing, and then up and tries to get it across the diamond, across to the first baseman, and unable to get it to Rawlings in time. So we've got an infield hit by Buckner, and that brings up Balo. Becker has pitched 11 innings. He's given up 15 hits, now 16. 10 earns. Only 4 of those runs have been earned, though. He's given up 5 walks and has 9 strikeouts to go along with it. So Balo steps in for his first time of the day. Davis is on deck for the Mingus Marauders. Strike number 1 to Balo. Balo, the only other Mingus Marauder so far, according to the stats, which are not complete on Max Preps, but only 2 home runs. Balo's got 1 of them, and he gets hit by the pitch. The curveball did not curve. It stayed behind him, and he kind of took it somewhat in the back and the hip. So hit by pitch. Puts Balo on. That moves Buckner to second, and Cameron Davis steps in with an RBI opportunity. Coy Miller, the third baseman, is on deck. And that's ball 1. So Mingus trying to get on the board here in the bottom of the first inning, no score. Infield single and hit by pitch has got a little rally going. 2-ball strike now. Two-ball count, rather. Davis looks at that one, stays high and inside, 3-0. Becker is dangerously close to loading the bases for the Mingus Marauders. 2 outs. Miller sneaks over towards second. And here is the delivery, and that one is going to be a strike. High strike. Top of the strike zone and on the inside part of the plate. 3-1 now. Hitters count for sure. Davis uses the front end of the box. There's the pitch, and he'll take strike 2. Becker working his way back in and evens the count, full count now. 3-2, 2-on-2 out here, bottom of the first inning. The Mingus Marauders at home, hosting the Wolves from Estrella Foothills, and that one is high. Ball 4. Good eye out there, young man. Davis takes over first. Buckner moves to second. Moves to third. Balo moves to second. Coy Miller, the third baseman, steps in. Rodriguez, the right fielder, is now on deck. Ball 1 the count. Mingus got bases loaded here, bottom of the first. 2 outs, though. Got to get something going. Here's the delivery. Inside. Oh, good curveball. Had him spinning. 1-1 the count now. David Rodriguez hoping for a chance. If he does, that means Mingus has scored. Here's the pitch. Miller skies that one. Foul, and that'll be toward the snack bar, and hits it. No. Did it make it to the tennis courts? See if Miller can straighten it out there. Here's the delivery, and he swings that one. It's in the dirt, and is going to step on home for the force out. So the strikeout ends the threat for the Mingus Marauders. 0-0 here at the end of one. Mingus had the bases loaded, couldn't get anything across. Will come up for the top of the
Lawler Construction has been a premier local builder of custom residential and commercial projects for 38 years. Using green construction methods, Lawler Construction builds efficiency into every custom design. Lawler Construction is a certified Energy Star builder. For examples, visit LawlerConstructionAZ.com. Thank you for your business, confidence, and continued referrals. Lawler Construction is a proud supporter of baseball and softball at all levels. Look for Lawler Construction Homes at Mountain Gate in Clarkdale.
And back here at Mingus Union High School, the top of the second coming up, the Mingus Marauders and the Wolves from Estrella Foothills all tied up 0-0 to start this one. The Mingus Marauders come in 3-8-1, have one tie, and that tie coming up in the last tournament. It is going to be 5, 6, and 7 coming up for the Wolves. That's going to be Rawlings, Batista, and Moore. Cody Rawlings, the first baseman. Stepping in against Schauer, who starts off his second inning. Mingus Marauders are tied for third in the Grand Canyon region in 4A play. They've got a 2-2 record, 3-8 overall, and that's ball one to Rawlings. 1-0 the count. Schauer works quickly, fouls off. Straight back, 1-1 the count. Vista Grande is ahead in the 4A Black Canyon division. And that one is popped up. Third baseman Miller's got it. Sees the spin on the ball, squeezes it for a pop out. And that'll be out number one. So in the West Valley, Estrella Foothills sits number 2 right now, only because they haven't played in their division. They're 4-1 in games that count in 4A, sitting behind the Peoria Panthers, who are 1-0 in the region. And that one is way past Buckner. As the movie would say, just a bit outside. Batista steps in. Batista, lefty. Line drive, left field, finds the hole, makes it to left field, and it gets by the left fielder, and on his way to second is going to be Batista. So he'll get the single and go to second on the error. So 1 on, 1 out, and Moore steps in. Moore is the catcher. Wearing number 12 out there. No, I got myself off. I'm sorry. Linton popped out to the third baseman. And we've got the single by Rawlings. Now Batista steps in wearing number 12. I apologize for that. Batting .278 so far this season. 10 hits, 6 runs, and 7 RBIs. He's got another possibility. He puts that one in play into left field. And coming around to third and scoring is going to be Rawlings. So Rawlings comes home off the single by Batista, who gets the RBI, and it's 1-0 to the visitors. Now Moore steps in. Got myself all set now. Batista takes a big lead off of first. Schauer glances over at him, and he takes another step, and he throws over close, but doesn't quite get him. Batista dives back in. I think that's about as far as he wants to go, especially with Moore coming up, batting .417 on the season. He's 6 for 12. And he's going to ground that one into the ground in third base. Hard to get it. Throws across the top and safe at first. It took a weird bounce, and he was unable to get his footing as he got into that area where there's just no grass left anymore. Speaking of which, the field here at Mingus Union High School unfortunately created an injury in practice nonetheless. Hunter Cowgill ended up with an ankle injury and is now facing surgery and will be out most likely the rest of the season. And that takes away a wonderful pitching option here for the Mingus Marauders, who is doing so well to start this season, especially in strikeouts. Now he's sitting on the bench with the plastic boot. Schauer's got himself in a little bit of trouble. 1 out, 2 on, 1 in so far for the Wolves. Here's the delivery. This one's inside. And Buckner almost trips over the batter coming out of the box here. Peterson, the right fielder, steps in. Peterson's batting .263 on the season. 5 hits, 5 for 19. He's got 6 RBIs, and he puts that one in the ground. Miller goes to third base and then over to first for the double play. Not in time. Good hustle by Peterson down the line, but Miller very wisely gets the lead out as he gets the fielder's choice. So Peterson's at first. Moore is now at second. And Batista is out at third. 2 out, 2 on now, and a strike to Schaefer. And that one will get fouled. Might have got a piece of him, the way he was kind of limping off of that one. Alex Schaefer, a freshman, is batting .391. He's got 3 doubles on the season. But he finds himself in an 0-2 count. Buckner goes out to chat with his pitcher, Schauer. Gives him some instructions. We are about ready to be underway here. 0-2 to the count, 2 out, 2 on, 1 in. Top of the second inning here. And there is the delivery, and it gets by Buckner. Both are going to advance. And makes it a 1-2 count. Just went through the 5-hole on Buckner. Put the glove down. Couldn't get it all the way to the ground, and back to the backstop it goes. So Peterson trots over to second. Moore over to third. So 2 in scoring position now. Here's the pitch from Schauer, and that one is fouled off. Stays alive. The umpire's going to clean off and see if we can get to a off-white plate instead of the brown-ish plate. There we go. Got to see the corners. Little heavier sprinkles now here at Mingus Union High School. Schauer goes from the windup, and there is the pitch, and that one is fouled off right-hand side. That one's going to get out of play. Glad we got more baseballs. Gonna need them. Not raining heavy, but just enough. You can see it on the concrete. So far, the visitors with a 1-0 lead, and that one stays high and inside. The breaking ball does not break or does not break enough. Schauer now with a 2-2 count, trying to get himself out of trouble, limit the damage to 1. 2 on, 2 out, 1 in, and a last-ditch effort swing out there by Schaefer, and he is just able to ruin the pitch. So Schauer's got to come at him again. Schaefer uses the back of the box. Schauer out of the stretch. And that one stays outside. Full count now by Schaefer. Schaefer went down 0-2 and he's battling back. Schaefer does not have a walk, and he does now. So that loads the bases. The Mingus Marauders had the bases loaded. Start this one off in the bottom of the first. That brings up to Mario Faison. Faison popped out to the second baseman, Balo, his first at bat. Now it's starting to rain. Faison, the senior, bats .367. He's got 8 hits, 9 runs, 7 RBIs, and he's up with the bases loaded. Hits that one foul. That's going to make it a 0-2 count. To the count. Starting to rain out here. Bases loaded. And that one gets by the catcher all the way to the backstop. And that is going to be a run scored. Good job by Godina backing up the throw to the pitcher because it gets away. So one run comes across to score, and that's going to be more. 2-0 now the score. Takes the force out. Peterson goes to third, and Schaefer goes to second after the walk. And a 1-2 count now on the leadoff hitter, Faison, who uses way the back of the box. And he fouls that one off. Breaking ball, got a piece of it. Top of the second inning. Estrella Foothills leading by a score of 2-0. Referees, umpires take a little time out here. And they're having conversation as to the possibility of a balk move. Field umpire says that he's watching and everything's good. Out of the stretch. Here comes the pitch. 1-2 the count. And inside, spins him around. 2-2 the count now. 2-2 the count. 2 on, 2 in. Schauer trying to get himself out of trouble. And that one's popped up right side. Right fielder comes in, puts a squeeze on it, and ends the threat. But the Wolves get 2 for the top of the second inning. The Mingus Marauders have got a little work to do. And I need a drying towel out here. It's going to be Rodriguez, Little, and Schauer coming up for the Mingus Marauders in the bottom of the second when we return to Mingus Union High School after this.
All Price Insurance on Main Street in Cottonwood is your local insurance provider for personal and commercial insurance. Call and compare over 150 different insurance companies for home, auto, commercial, RV, motorcycle, boat, or ATV. Specialty insurance and insurance bonds are no problem at All Price Insurance in Cottonwood.
Back here at Mingus Union High School, the home of the Marauders. The Marauders currently trailing right now by a score of 2-0. The Wolves are able to get 2 in the top of the second. Becker comes back out for his second inning of work. And the little bit of rain made all of my papers soggy. So we are at soggy paper situation here. And that's going to be strike one. His first time up, it's going to be Rodriguez. Rodriguez looks at that one for a ball, 1-1 the count. And that's going to be 2-1 low. Rodriguez is batting $125 on the games that we have. And that one stays high. The breaking ball does not break. 3-1 the count now to the leadoff hitter in the bottom of the second. Rodriguez looks at strike two, the fastball. Full count now. Buckner's had a few of them. In the first inning, ended up loading the bases. And that one's going to be a dribbler, third base side. He's got a shot. Third baseman is up and across the diamond, and they call him out. He gets him. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Linton with a cannon across the diamond to Rawlings and gets Rodriguez on the ground out. 5-3. Thought for sure Rodriguez was going to be able to beat that one out, and the umpire said no. Aiden Little steps in. That's going to be a ball. Wearing number 14 out there. And he is going to take that one as a ball. 2-0 the count now. On the left fielder for the Mingus Marauders. 1 out, nobody on. And ball 3. 3-0 count. See if coach gives him a green light here on a 3-0 count. And he says ball 4. It was close enough for the umpire to get a second look at it. But that's going to be a walk. 1 on, 1 out. The first inning, the Mingus Marauders able to load the bases. Buckner got an infield single that he hustled his butt off for. Balo got hit by the pitch, and then a walk by Davis. This is going to bring up Esquer, see if he can help himself. Esquer's down 2-0. He swings at that one. A hit and run was on, and that one's going to be out of play. Little was on his way to second. Esquer took a hack at the high pitch. 1 strike the count now. And looks at the breaking ball for strike 2. 0-2, finds himself in a hole. Now he's got to protect up. Outfield playing shallow all around, all 3 positions out there. Very shallow. And that one's hit high, skied, left field. Left fielder over toward the line, makes the catch. Little retreats back to first. And we have the fly out to the left fielder for out number 2. Brings up McGurk, who led off the game with a line out to center field. And I do mean a line out. He hit that thing hard to fasten. Great play actually going back on it. And that's going to be a ball. 1-0 the count, 1 on, 2 outs. Girk is batting .238. He's got 5 hits out of 21 at-bats here. He's got 8 runs scored. Looking for his first RBI, though. He has 1 double, and he now has a 2-0 count. And then he pops that one up right-hand side. First baseman calls for it and catches it in the palm of his glove. So the pop out to the first baseman ends the inning for the Mingus Marauders. And the Marauders, other than a walk by Little, only get 1 on base here. So bottom of 2, end of 2. It is 2-0. The Wolves from Estrella Foothills leading the Mingus Marauders. We will return for more high school baseball action coming up after this.
Accidents happen. Red Rock Collision knows that your car is the second largest investment you're likely to make. For over 15 years, Red Rock Collision has been there to negotiate for you, the customer, not the insurance company. John and his staff promise quality repair with honesty and integrity. You can rest easy now. They'll return your car as safe as the day it was built.
And back here at Mingus Union High School, home of the Marauders trail by a score of 2-0 to the visiting squad from Estrella Foothills. Mingus Marauders have wins this year over Greenway, 13-7. Cactus, 13-4. Those are the 2 that count in 4A. And I've got my power up. And now I'm wondering if I can get bags to cover stuff. And we'll see if we can get something to cover the computer systems out here. And there's a swing. It's going to be fouled off left-hand side, and that will make the stands. Makes the batting cages. So that ball's going to be there for a while as it sits up on top. Umpire asks for more balls. So Blake Miller is up to start the third. That was a good miss by Schauer. Just misses the plate on that one. 1-2 the count now. Miller uses the front end of the box. And that one stays outside as well. 2-2. Even count to the second baseman. Blake Miller. Here is the pitch, and there's the strikeout. Got it around him. Couldn't tell if he foul tipped that one at all, but Miller was stepping in, batting .467. Second strikeout in the game here by Schauer. Number 4 steps in. That's going to be Landon Sloan. Sloan is the DH. He struck out his first time up. Sloan bats .367 on the season. And that one stays high. Ball 1. Mingus trailing 2-0 here. Top of the third action. Didn't let anybody score in the first inning. Gave up 2 in the second. And a 2-0 count now to Sloan. Mingus had their opportunity in the first. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Unable to get anybody across the plate. Schauer gets that one high part of the strike zone. Gets the called strike. 2-1 now. Out of the full windup. Here we go. And that one is fouled off. Out of play. That'll level it up at 2-2. As a team, Estrella Foothills comes in batting .351 on the season with an on-base percentage of .462. Oh, what a play! Da-da-da, da-da-da. A scare lined right back at him. Great reflexes, able to get the glove on it as he's falling backwards, gets the glove out in front of him to make the line out catch. Had him fooled. He was swinging and had him fooled, and the line out is to the pitcher is out number 2. 2 out, nobody on now. Linton steps in, and he pops that one to the right-hand side. That one's going to get out of play, just barely into the crowd. But that'll be strike 1. Linton popped out his first time up. Jordan wears number 6. He's got 5 hits on the season. 5 for 12 is the sophomore. And there's strike 2. I do not want to jinx it, but that's almost sunshine popping through the clouds. Almost. Scare trying to get out of the third, and there it is. 2 strikeouts in the inning for the young man. And this one, a backward K as he gets the looking strikeout. 3rd strikeout in the game. The Mingus Marauders coming up. When we go to the bottom of the 3rd, trailing by a score of 2-0. They've got a perfect inning, though, as they got the Wolves up 1-2-3. It's going to be Godina, Buckner, and Balo 2, 3, and 4 for the Marauders when we return after this.
Choose the region's most comprehensive heart program. Choose care close to home. Choose world-class surgeons. Choose Northern Arizona Healthcare.
Choose precision. Choose innovation. Choose robotic-assisted knee and hip replacement. Choose Northern Arizona Healthcare.
Back here at Mingus Union High School, the Marauders trailing by a score of 2-0 here as we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It's going to be Godina, Hops Godina, who popped out to the first baseman his first time up. It's going to be Buckner, who had an infield single. Balo would like something other than his first at bat where he got hit by the pitch. Becker steps in for his 3rd inning of work. The righty out of the stretch gets him fooled. Strike 1. All right. Let's see if we can dry off the computer here a little bit. Didn't rain hard, but it certainly rained enough to create a problem. And that one's going to be popped down the right field line. The right fielder way off the line. Had no chance to get that one out of play. So that's going to be an 0-2 count on Godina. And there it takes ball 1, so a 1-2 count now. Oh, lines out one right field, and on a beat, and on it is the center fielder out there facing. Good defensively out there. It's his 2nd good defensive play, and the fly out to center field. It's going to be out number 1 here in the top of the 3rd. Buckner comes up. Buckner stands in, the lefty, throws right, bats left, looks at a high pitch for ball 1. Buckner's batting .500 so far, says Max Preps. We don't have all the games in. He's got 1 double, 1 triple, 1 home run, and that one's going to be short left, and stays in the air long enough for a little fly out to the left fielder. And that's 2 outs, and Balo steps in. Ben Balo batting a quarter, .250 on the season. 5 for 20. He's got 5 RBIs and a home run. Triple and a home run. Wind has died down out here at Mingus Union High School, and he gets on top of that one, grounds it to the 3rd baseman. It takes a bad hop across the diamond, and safe as Balo. He beats it out. That one took a real horrible hop on the third baseman, Linton, and Jordan unable to, well, he stayed in front of it, went off the chest. There might be a nice little Spalding spot here on his chest. But on first base is Balo. I'll let them decide whether that was an error or a single. I think that was a real bad hop. I'm going to give him a single. That brings up Cameron Davis, who walked his first time up. He looks at ball number 1. 1-0 the count. And that one is inside. Breaking ball stays inside for a 2-0 count. Balo sitting down at first. We'll see if there's any activity. And that one skied to center field. That goes facing. He's got a beat on it. Waits. One hands it out there, and that will end the inning. So the Mingus Marauders get an infield single, and then 3 flyouts to the outfield, 2 to center field to end the third. And the Mingus Marauders still trailing the Wolves from Estrella Foothills by a score of 2-0. When we come back, it is going to be, it's going to be 5, 6, and 7. Rawlings, DeBattista, and more coming up for the Wolves when we return to Mingus Union High School after this.
Your first set of wheels didn't come with complications, or strings, or hassles. It can be that way again. There's a simpler way to buy tires at Tire Pros.
We're hassle-free, guaranteed.
Back here at Mingus Union High School as we are going to start the top of the 4th inning in high school baseball. You play 7. So we are through, almost the halfway point as the Mingus Marauders will be on the defensive side here for the top of the 4th inning. Rawlings steps in. Rawlings had a single and scored the first run of the game back in the 2nd inning. And the righty steps in once again. He beat out an infield single. A strange setup there as he now steps toward the plate. So he steps. He's got both feet right next to one another, just kind of an open stance, but right next to each other. And then as the delivery comes, he steps toward the pitcher. 1-0 the count. Scare delivers, and a line drive toward the shortstop. Godinez up, throws across, and it's offline. And it's going to be an error. Getting on base is going to be Rawlings. Well, thank goodness for the Marauders. It bounced off the wall and did not go into the dugout, which means that Rawlings had to stay at first. So the force play is still in effect. Godina came across, had a great pickup on it, had to hurry the throw a little bit because Rawlings was hustling down the line and just threw it off the mark. Batista steps in. And there is a line drive center field. That one's going to stay up, and it will be caught out there by McGurk, and back goes Rawlings to first. 1-on-1 out now, 2-0. Estrella Foothills leading the Mingus Marauders. DeBattista took the first pitch he saw, lined it into center field. McGurk played it well. Moore steps in. He had a single, and he scored back in the 2nd inning, and that one, the throw to first gets away, and Rawlings is going to go down to second. Puts a man in scoring position out there. Moore ended up scoring on a pass ball or a wild pitch. However, it would be ruled back in the 2nd inning. First pitch to him is fouled off. That one's fouled hard. Goes over the backstop and down into the ditch. And there goes a young man after it. 1-0 the count. 1 on, 1 out. Top of the fourth inning. Scare. Oh, good breaking pitch. Had him out in front of it. It dropped off the table and out of the strike zone. Moore not happy with himself. He knew he shouldn't have swung at that one, but couldn't hold up. There's another breaking pitch, and he gets the K. Fourth strikeout by Scare in the game for the Mingus Marauders. That's 2 outs, and that brings up Aaron Peterson, the right fielder. Peterson got on a fielder's choice. He grounded the ball to the third baseman. He stepped on third. That one's popped up. It's going to be on the right side, out of play, and it is caught for out number 3. How about that? Holy cow, Cameron Davis made it a production out there, got underneath it, and then the last moment had to dive for it, but he does hang on to it, and that's out number 3. So the Mingus Marauders get out with no damage here in the top of the fourth. We are halfway through this one. The Mingus Marauders coming up at the bottom of the fourth. It's going to be toward the bottom of the order. It's Miller, Rodriguez, Little, and if anybody gets on, the pitcher is Scare when we return to Mingus Union High School after this.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Tandy, owners of Taylor Waste.
We are homegrown in the Verde Valley and nearly your last local choice.
We want to be your first choice for residential and small business garbage service.
Get a free month service when you make the switch to Taylor Waste.
And enjoy monthly service as low as $19 per month.
Visit TaylorWaste.com for more information.
Or to start service, call Taylor Waste at 649-2662.
Taylor Waste, service tailored to your needs.
Back here at Mingus Union High School, Coy Miller, number 20, steps in, the third baseman. Leads off for Mingus here in the bottom of the fourth. Miller's batting .227 and takes a hack at the first one for strike 1. 5 for 22. He scored 6 runs, 5 RBIs, and he's got 2 doubles. Could certainly use one here. Lines that one into center field, and that's going to drop for a base hit. And a leadoff single out there for the Mingus Marauders. Coy Miller picks up the second hit of the game. Third hit of the game for the Mingus Marauders. All have been singles. Buckner singled in the first. Balo singled in the third, an infield single. A little help from the turf out here at Mingus Union High School. Coy Miller lines that one into shallow center field. Brings up David Rodriguez. Rodriguez grounded out to third, shows bunt, pulls back, and takes a strike. Turns around, looked at the umpire. Surprised at that one. Hard to bunt the breaking ball. Buckner is going to throw back over to first, and he's going to be safe. Woo! Just getting back is Miller. That one was definitely close as Mingus showing signs of playing some small ball out here. Rodriguez shows bunt again, pulls back, lines that one toward the shortstop as he dives. It goes over the top of him. So back-to-back singles to start it off. Showed bunt, pulled it back, and lined it toward the shortstop. The shortstop was already breaking towards second base and then had to come back and then went to dive for it. And it took a Mingus Marauder turf hop and bounced all the way over the top of him. He's talking to the umpire out there about how am I supposed to guess what the ball's going to do? Welcome. Both got to play in the same infield, though. I'll tell you that. That's part of it. That's going to bring up Aiden Little. Little walked his first time up out of the stretch, and that one is fouled off right-hand side out of play. 1 strike the count on Little, the left fielder for the Mingus Marauders. Two on, nobody out here. Mingus has a rally going. Shows bunt and pops it up, and it's going to be foul. That's going to be strike 2. Showed the bunt late. Wasn't able to keep it down or keep it in play. According to the stats that I have, Little is 0 for 2. 0 for 3 now, as he grounded out in the first. Actually, I know he walked. He doesn't get that one. That one is popped up. First baseman is over and makes the catch. So a pop out of play for Aiden Little. And the pop out to the first baseman is the first out. 1 out, 2 on. Bottom of the 4th. And the Scare comes up with an opportunity to help himself. He flied out to the left fielder back in the 2nd inning. McGurk, the leadoff hitter, is up on deck. Ming is trying to keep this inning alive. 2 on, 1 out, and that one stays high. 1-0 the count. To have a crooked number in this inning, you got to keep the merry-go-round going. And that one is ball 2. So he watches that one. Scare now in front of Becker, now 2-0. First baseman playing off of first base. Up toward the corners are somewhat in. And that one is going to be just inside. Umpire thought about it, looked at it, and then called it inside. 3-0 the count now. A walk would load the bases for Mingus, and there's a strike. Becker, unfazed, comes back with the fastball. Outside part of the plate. The Scare takes the front end of the batter's deck, and that one's high, and that's going to load the bases. So Mingus has a rally going. If you got a hat, turn it around. Top of the order now with 1 out, bases loaded. McGurk steps in. He lined out to center field. Then he popped out to the third baseman. So the corners are in for the Wolves. The middle of the infield is back for the double play, and a curveball stays up and in for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Base hit scores 2, you would think, could tie the game here. 1 out, bases loaded, bottom of the 4th, and that one stays high. Kirk, the center fielder. A nice catch to end the inning, last inning. 2-0 count, and that one's going to be a strike. Catcher Moore steps up, looks back the runner from third. 2-1 now the count. Now looking for your pitch. And that one's going to be fouled off. Half swing at the curveball. So 2-2 now the count. Becker trying to get that second out in the inning. It's out of the stretch. And this one flies to right field. Everybody tags. There's the catch. It's made. It comes, throws in, and they're going to throw back to second base, and he's safe. How about that? Wandering off of the base. So Landon gets the sacrifice fly and gets the RBI out there, and the Mingus Marauders now trail 2-1. Coy Miller comes home on the sacrifice fly. Rodriguez, they threw behind him, gets back safe, had to do a little expert sliding to the back of the base to kind of get around it. The pitcher caught off the throw from the right fielder out there. Right fielder Peterson actually had to go to a knee to catch that one. Got up. Good strong throw to the pitcher, though. 2 out, 2 on. Godina is up for the second time in 2 innings. He's had the ball in the air twice, popped out to the first baseman, and then flew out to the center fielder. Now he needs to catch a line drive somewhere. And that one stays high. They throw behind the runner at first. And Esquire gets back. So Rodriguez is at second. Esquire is at first. Godina's here with a 2-0 count. There is the pitch, and it's going to be a dribbler inside. That's got a shot. Pitcher fields it and throws across. That was a great job by Becker. Got underneath that one, came off the rubber and came off the mound. Had the best shot at it because it was a high bouncer going toward the shortstop, but he was too deep. He was never going to be able to make the play. Able to get his hands on it and throw a strong throw to first base and gets himself out. He gives up 1. Mingus now trails 2-1. Top of the 5th inning coming up when we return to Mingus Union High School after this.
The mouth is the gateway to the digestive system. Studies indicate a correlation between oral health and full body health. Regular cleanings and checkups can help protect you. New patients are welcome at Arizona Smile Designers in Cottonwood. There's a full smile worth of services all offered under one roof. Whitening and cosmetic to implants and smile reconstruction. Find out more or request an appointment online at azsmiledesigners.com.
And back here at Mingus Union High School, 2-1 the score. The visiting Wolves from Estrella Foothills on top of your Mingus Marauders. At current present moment, a sacrifice fly by McGurk put the Mingus Marauders on the scoreboard here in the 4th inning. Mingus playing well, keeping the score super close. Esquire comes on for his 5th inning of work. He has pitched very well out here today. He has got 4 strikeouts in the game so far. It's given up 2 runs, both of them back in the 2nd inning. It's given up 2 singles and 1 walk. He takes the rubber again here in the 5th inning, so he's putting together a good outing. Wants a new baseball, though. And he gets his wish. Umpire puts that one back in his pocket, so you might get that one back after a foul ball. You just don't know. Schaefer steps up, and he bunts. A good bunt. Coming off the mound. Got to throw. Hurry. And got him at first base. Good job out there by Esquire. Comes off the mound. Fields it well and throws a strong one across the diamond to Davis to get the out. No, I'm sorry, that's 5 strikeouts. So the ground out, 1-3 is the first out of the 5th inning. Back to the top of the order is Faison. And he bounces that one to the plate. Ball 1. 2 pop-outs by Faison. The first one, Balo, a great job going into shallow right field to catch that one falling down in the process. And this one, a high bounder over to Miller at third. Cross the diamond and safe. He beat it out. So an infield single and by the speedster by Faison. He showed some fantastic speed. I imagine that he is a definite threat to run. Blake Miller steps in. 1 out, 1 on. Faison leads the team with 9 stolen bases. He's 9 for 10 on the season. In a 2-1 game, I would not doubt it. If the coach for the Wolves is going to see if they can send him, that one's fouled straight back. 1-0 the count. He was dead on it, no doubt about it. So Schaefer, a bunt attempt for a single, ends up into a ground out by the pitcher to first base. And that one is outside. 1-1 the count. Faison is testing his jump out there at first base. Takes his lead. Takes a little longer a lead. Scare. And there he goes. And it's fouled off. 1-2 the count now. Had a good jump. That was going to be tough for Buckner to gun him down at second. Godina's got coverage from the shortstop position. The lefty steps in again. That's Miller. 1-2 the count. Facing much closer to first base now. Now he takes an extra step. There's the pitch. He stays. Line drive, left field, and foul. New addition to Mingus Union High School baseball field out here is the bullpen area, which has got all the fencing around it, which makes the left field out of bounds area much shorter for a left fielder out there. Mingus is playing deep, and a line drive center field. That's going to get down, but they're only going to advance one base out there. Well played by McGurk, and he gets it in, but back-to-back singles. That one a solid. Miller drives that one, lines it to first base. Faison goes to second. Miller's at first, and Sloan, the DH, is up. He's 0 for 2 in the game, struck out and lined one right back at the pitcher. Fooled by a curveball, but lined it right back to the pitcher, and that one goes off the head protection out there, the helmet of Buckner. That's when you're really glad you've got the helmet. Umpire gives him a little extra time, make sure that he's perfectly fine. Took the foul tip off of the helmet. 0-1 the count. 2 on, 1 out here. The Wolves already leading 2-1, and he lines that one right center field, sky high, and it is caught out there. Tagging from second and going to third is going to be Faison. So it ends up being a sacrifice fly. Rodriguez with a good catch in right center field keeps Miller from advancing. So now runners at the corner and 2 outs. Linton steps in. He popped out to the third baseman back in the second and struck out looking in the third. Scare trying to keep this a 2-1 game, 2 out, 2 on. And there's the pitch, and he takes that one in the knuckles. And it is a foul ball. Oh, man, that hurts. That one hurts. That is the worst foul ball there is. And he is going to take a little extra time as he's trying to get the feeling back in that left hand. Coach comes down the line. Take a look at him to see if he's okay. That one's tough. I've done that myself. Then on the bus home, you get home, you go to grab your bag, and you realize that your left hand is about 3 times the size as it was when you left. Make sure that he can grip that bat and still be able to swing. Talking to the umpire out there. Patrick McCubbins, the head coach for the Wolves from Estrella Foothills. It's going to leave him up there to bat. Linton is third baseman. Scare trying to keep warm. Throwing out there with Miller at third. Now we're going to get an opportunity to get back to action here. So let me Set the stage here for you once again. It is 2-1. The Wolves from Estrella Foothills leading the Mingus Marauders. It is the top of the fifth. 2 on, 2 out, 2 on the corners. A bunt ground out led off the inning. Facing with an infield hit. And this is a pop-up going to Balo over at second. And Balo gets underneath it and ends the threat. And just like that, the Mingus Marauders keep the game 2-1. An opportunity to come back up, tie the game, or maybe take the lead. Buckner leads off for the Mingus Marauders. Then it is going to be number 4, Balo, and then the number 5 hitter, Davis, when we return to Mingus Union High School after this.
Lawler Construction has been a premier local builder of custom residential and commercial projects for 38 years. Using green construction methods, Lawler Construction builds efficiency into every custom design. Lawler Construction is a certified Energy Star builder. For examples, visit LawlerConstructionAZ.com. Thank you for your business, confidence, and continued referrals. Lawler Construction is a proud supporter of baseball and softball at all levels. Look for Lawler Construction Homes at Mountain Gate in Clarkdale.
Well, the Mingus Marauders trying to get back into this one. They have done exceptionally well, and we may very well have a new pitcher out there on the mound. We're going to try to get a number. Looks like number 11. So Linton stays in the game to play third after taking that foul ball off the knuckles. Raja Canito comes in to pitch, wearing number 11 out there. So Becker's day is done. He gives up 1 run in the game. Played a very efficient game. Pitched a very efficient game, I should say. Mingus Marauders will have to contend with a new pitcher out there. Canito, a senior, has 1 win on the season. He's only pitched 2 innings, gave up 1 hit, no runs, no earned runs. Faced 6 batters. No walks, no strikeouts. And Buckner looks at ball 1. Started off. Mingus needs base runners. Mingus needs base runners. Everybody playing Buckner deep throughout the infield. And a line drive toward the second baseman. Takes it on a hop and throws over to first. Hit it on the button. Unfortunately, it was one of those right atoms. A hard ground out, 4-3 to lead off the bottom of the 4th inning. Buckner is retired. He was on it, hit it hard. Just couldn't get it to the right or the left of the second baseman out there, Blake Miller. Brings up Balo. Balo grounds that one through the hole on the left side of the infield. It's going to be a 1-out single out there for Balo. His second hit of the game. He is 2 for 2 and got hit by a pitch. So he's been on base 3 times, the second baseman for the Mingus Marauders. That's so apropos. You get the 3rd out of the inning, and then you come up and get a base hit the next time you're up. Cameron Davis steps in. He walked in the first, flight out to the center fielder. Back in the 3rd. Drives that one to the hole on the right side of the field. It gets through, and they are going to hold up Balo. Coming in and throwing toward third is Peterson. Peterson right on it. This outfield plays shallow against the Mingus Marauders. Balo stops at second. 1 station by 1 station, 2 back-to-back singles. 1 out, 2 on now. Coy Miller comes up. He singled and scored the only run for the Mingus Marauders his last time up. And here is the pitch, and he takes that one. Looked inside, but it curved back over to the plate for strike 1. Miller turned the shoulder away from it. Curved back over the plate. 0-1 count. And he'll bunt that one, but bunts it foul. Mingus trying to do a little small ball. Puts Miller in an 0-2 count. He struck out swinging his first time up on a 1-2 pitch. And then in the fourth inning, led off with a single. Needs contact here. 1 out, 2 on. Mingus trying to rally down by 1, 2-1 here in the bottom of the fifth. Plays 7 innings in high school baseball. Canito out of the stretch, delivers, and a late swing. Stays alive. Had to bring those elbows way in on that curveball. Remains an 0-2 count. Back-to-back singles, and this one's fouled off too. Weather permitting, we are back here at Mingus Union High School tomorrow. Radio-only broadcast on KYBC AM 1600 and 96.3 FM versus the Mojave Thunderbirds as Grand Canyon Region action begins. And then the 23rd, it would be the Lady Marauders in Mojave. That would be Thursday. Then we have got a tournament coming up. I'll tell you about that in a second. 0-2 delivery and strike 3. Caught him looking out there for the second out of the inning, and that brings up David Rodriguez, who donates a ball to the cause, gives it to the umpire. Rodriguez is 1 for 2. Grounded out to the third baseman. Had a single last time up. That one is in the dirt. Good stop out there by Moore, the backstop here for the Wolves. If you're going to throw that curveball, you're going to need a catcher that can dig it out of the dirt if it's low. 2 on, 2 out, and that one stays high. 2-0 count now to Rodriguez. Little is on deck. Rodriguez in open stance. And he takes the strike. Couldn't pull the trigger on the breaking ball out there. Steps back in, uses the back of the box. Choked up just a little. There's the pitch. And that's a strike. Catches the inside part of the plate. Surprises Rodriguez. 2-2 the count now. 2 on, 2 out, 2-2 the count. Bottom of the fifth, Mingus trailing 2-1. Here's the delivery and a little ground ball up the middle. And the second baseman is going to take it to the bag himself. And Miller retires the Mingus Marauders. Mingus put a threat together with back-to-back singles. Couldn't get anywhere from that point. 2-1 your score after 5. The top of the 6th inning coming up. It's going to be Rawlings, DeBattista, and Moore when the Wolves come to bat here at Mingus Union High School. Top of the 6th coming up after this.
All Price Insurance on Main Street in Cottonwood is your local insurance provider for personal and commercial insurance. Call and compare over 150 different insurance companies for home, auto, commercial, RV, motorcycle, boat, or ATV. Specialty insurance and insurance bonds are no problem at All Price Insurance in Cottonwood.
Scare back on the mound for the Mingus Marauders to start inning number 6, and he has put together a pretty good performance out here. Only given up 2 runs here through 5. However, he's been bested by the pitching performance of the Wolves by 1. 2-1 your score as we go to the top of the 6th inning. And I am losing paperwork here. Hang on a second. There we go. It ran away from me, but I ran it down. All right. It is going to be 5, 6, and 7 hitters coming up for the Wolves. Rawlings is going to step in first. Taking a look at our broadcast schedule coming up. Weather permitting, we are back here tomorrow. Mingus Marauders baseball against the Mojave Thunderbirds. And then Thursday, we go over to the Lady Marauders versus the Thunderbirds. And a foul back this direction. And it's going to be strike one. So weather permitting, if Mother Nature lets us play baseball, we will be back here. Radio-only performance tomorrow on KYBC AM 1600 and 96.3 FM. Rawlings looks at that one, bounced to the plate. 1-1 the count. Thursday, Lady Marauders versus Mojave Thunderbirds. And then Friday, we should have 2 games. Assuming that the fields are available, the softball fields, the adult softball fields at Riverfront Park for the Faith Moore Memorial Tournament. Here's your delivery. Lined over to Balo. Balo backhands it. Deep in the hole, throws it over to first to Davis, and they ground out. 4-3 for the top of the 6th inning. DiBattista steps in. He singled back in the second, was out at third on a fielder's choice, and then he flied out to center field, so he is 1-for-2. Faith Moore Memorial Tournament, a fundraiser for the Lady Marauders. And, of course, Faith Moore, if you recall, would have been a senior this year for the Mingus Marauders on the softball side, and was swept away by flood waters not too long ago. And that one is fouled off. 7 teams, I believe, maybe 6 teams so far. It was originally scheduled at the beginning of March, and Mother Nature did not participate. Standing water on the adult fields meant that we had to reschedule it. It's coming up. The reschedule is this weekend. 1-0 delivery. And that one stays high, 1-1 the count. So weather permitting, we'll play 2 games on Friday. We'll have both of those, and then we'll have the first game of the Lady Marauders on Saturday. So if we can stay dry, we got lots of softball and baseball here for you. That one doesn't break down at all. 2-1 the count. Scare for the Mingus Marauders. It's only given up 2 runs here, 2-1. There. Ooh, called that one a ball. Ball 3. That had to have been inside. So, looked like the elevation was appropriate. But it's 3-1 now, the count. 4 strikeouts so far in the game for Scare. And that one's fouled off. That's going to fill up the count, 3-2. Scare's been efficient. In fact, he's had very few full counts during the course of the game. He's only given up 1 walk, and that one's fouled off. That one might make it to the ditch over there, and it does. Count remains 3-2. Top of the 6th, 1 out. Estrella Foothills leading 2-1 over the Mingus Marauders. Out of the stretch. And a little looping fly ball short right center field. And it is caught by Balo. Oh my gosh, that is the second one that he has gone out to get. What a great job. That was a heck of a defensive play out there. And he dirties the uniform in the process. That was beautiful. He stole it out from the jaws of a hit. Phenomenal catch. That's the second one that he has had here today. That one stays high. Dylan Moore, catcher, is up. He singled and scored the second run back in the second inning. That one on a pass ball or a wild pitch. And now has a 2-0 count this time. He's 1 for 2 as he steps in. Back in the fourth inning, he struck out. Swinging strikeout. Had trouble with the curveball. And that one's going to be inside. 3-0 count now. Scare's got to bear down and get to work here. 3-0 the count, 2 out, nobody on here. Top of the 6th. And Moore just looks at that one for a strike. 3-1 the count. Hitters count for sure. Mingus playing deep in the infield. And can't get that one to find the plate. It's second walk of the game. Four strikeouts, 2 walks in the game. He's given up 5 hits, all singles. Throws over to the first, and holy cow, thought they had him. Wandering too far to the bag was Moore. Good throw. The ball beat him there, so apparently the tag didn't get down. High strike called. 0-2 the count now. This is Peterson, the right fielder, stepping in. Nope. Sorry, that's 21. Grounds it to the third baseman. Miller across the diamond for out number 3. So, pardon me, number 21 stepped in to bat for Peterson. And the ground out goes 5-3 and ends the inning. Coming up, the bottom of the 6th. It's getting late. Mingus needs some runs. It's going to be the bottom and then the top of the order. Aiden Little will lead it off. Julian Esquire, and then top of the order with McGurk coming up when we return to Mingus Union High School after this.
Accidents happen. Red Rock Collision knows that your car is the second largest investment you're likely to make. For over 15 years, Red Rock Collision has been there to negotiate for you, the customer, not the insurance company. John and his staff promise quality repair with honesty and integrity. You can rest easy now. They'll return your car as safe as the day it was built.
Back here at Mingus Union High School, and we go through another pitching change as the sophomore, Blake Miller, who was the second baseman, is going to come out and pitch. He has no ERA, but he does have 1 appearance so far this year. Pitched 1 inning, had 2 strikeouts in that inning. So he did 3 up, 3 down in the 1 inning that he pitched for his squad. And the Mingus Marauders look like they are sending up a pinch hitter. Number 2 steps in. No, that is Aiden. All right. So Blake's first delivery is a pop-up center field, and Faison is there, and the little fly out to start off the bottom of the 6th inning. 1 pitch, 1 out. Julian Esquire steps in. Trying to find a way to split that gap out there. This outfield plays awfully short, especially in right field. And that's going to be outside. Scare steps in. He is 0 for 1. He flied out to the left fielder, but then back in the 4th inning, he walked. Trailing 2-1 are the Mingus Marauders, bottom of the 6th, and a swing and a foul ball. Little out in front of it, 1-1 the count. Top of the order is going to be up after this. Landon McGurk in the on deck. circle for the Mingus Marauders. Blake's delivery as a line drive, left center field. That's the gap I'm talking about, baby. That one's going to roll to the wall, and falling down is Esquire as he rounds first, but he gets back up and then trots to second base for the double. He was thinking 3, but you only need 2, young man. So first extra base hit of the game is from Esquire. He is now 1 for 2 with a walk. He's been on twice, and he hit that one to left center field, and that's the gapper that we needed. Rolled all the way to the wall. So 1 out, 1 on for the Mingus Marauders as Blake gives up his first base hit of the season, and that's going to be a strike. Moore's going to go out and talk to his pitcher out there. McGurk comes up as the only RBI for the Mingus Marauders in the form of a sacrifice fly. Other than that, he's 0 for 2. Line out to center field. That was a great play by Faison in the outfield, running that one down. And then a pop out to the first baseman. Now he's got the tying run on second base in a 2-1 game. And he's got the gap on the right side of the infield. First baseman's playing real deep, and they throw him outside for an 0-1 count. Pardon me, 1-1 count. 1-1, 1 out, 1 on. A scare at second, and that's going to be a strike. No, pardon me, called it a ball. I apologize. 2-1. 2-1 the count. Pops Godina steps in, the shortstop for the Mingus Marauders. No, I'm sorry, McGurk is still up. And that one's driven to the second baseman and through. Coming around, they send him. The throw is coming home, and it is out at home plate. A good, strong throw from the right fielder out there. Peterson gets a scare at home plate. So the single and then out at home on the throw. And it remains 2-1. So the Mingus Marauders take a chance, saw an opportunity to try to tie it up. Had to be a fantastic throw. And once again, the right fielder plays very shallow. So the ball came bounding in very quickly back to home plate. So now 2 out, 1 on. Godina steps in with McGurk on the fielder's choice. No, actually got a single, but he stays at first. Almost had the game-tying RBI out there. Godina takes a strike. 1-0 the count. Short lead at first, and that one's well outside for ball 1. 1-1 the count. Godina's 0 for 3. He's looking for his first hit of the game. Looking for his first time on base. There's the delivery and a strike. Check swing, but it found the strike zone, so now a 1-2 count. Prepare for the fastball, adjust for the breaking ball. 2 out, 1 on, and that one is bounced to the plate. And a great job by Moore keeping it in front of him to keep the runner at first. Otherwise, Mingus has that tying run at second base. Godina calls time, and he's going to take off the batting glove. Buckner sits on the on-deck circle. He's hit the ball hard twice. It's been on base once. And a fake steal. And the ball stays outside. 2-2 the count. McGurk took 3 or 4 steps like he was going to go to second and then came back to first while the pitch was being delivered. The righty's now going to throw back over, and safe is the call at first. That was a good move to first by the little sophomore. Holy cow. Great move to first. Good tag applied out there by Rawlings. But McGurk got back in time. 2-2 count, and it's driven to the shortstop. He picks it up, throws it over to first. He got the bounce he needed on that one, and Mingus is retired in the bottom of the 6th. We're going to the 7th inning. Mingus still trailing 2-1 out here to Estrella Foothills. It has been a great game. It has been a defensive game for you, and we will return as the hopefully the last bat's coming up here for the team from Estrella Foothills. It's going to be 9-1-2. Schaefer, Faison, and Miller coming up in the top of the 7th when we return after this.
Choose the region's most comprehensive heart program. Choose care close to home. Choose world-class surgeons. Choose Northern Arizona Healthcare.
Choose precision. Choose innovation. Choose robotic-assisted knee and hip replacement. Choose Northern Arizona Healthcare.
Well, back here at Mingus Union High School, a scare comes out for the 7th inning. He's pitched 13 innings so far. Before this game, had an ERA coming in of a little over 8, 0-2 on the season. But I'll tell you what, he has pitched very well here today. Comes in for the top of the 7th, faces the bottom of the order. Schaefer, the number 9 hitter, and he fouls that one off. 0-1 the count. Schaefer walked in the 2nd, grounded out to the pitcher in the 1st, and then he'll take that one, foul tip it, and that one went off of the umpire. An 0-2 count. You heard it hit the protection, and Buckner goes out to talk to his pitcher, give the umpire just a moment to collect himself in case that one stung a little bit. Comes back, asks him if he's okay. Umpire says, yes. Let's get on before it rains. Hopefully it doesn't rain too hard so that we can still play baseball tomorrow. That'll be the plan. The Marauders in Mojave. And then little Popper is going to get down but foul. Put it to where no one could get to it. Count remains 0-2. Scare has had a great pitching performance here. Gave up 1 run on either a pass ball or a wild pitch. And gave up another run on a single. He's only given up 5 hits in the game. And he delivers the 0-2 pitch, and that one is fouled off to the right-hand side. So we look across the diamond here, off to the right-hand side. Some cloud cover and a little bit of lightning, quite a bit of ways. Inside, almost hit him. Twisted and turned out of the way. 1-2 the count. Scare trying to finish out 7 innings here and get the complete game. And he gets the strikeout. Got him out in front. That's going to be the 5th strikeout of the game. Brings up the top of the order, Faison. Faison popped out to start the game. A great catch by Balo out at second base. And then he popped out in the 2nd inning as well. And then hit one into the ground, a high chopper to 3rd that he beat out. And now he's going to bunt that one foul over the backstop. So he's trying to play a little bit of small ball. Faison with some great speed. If he hits it to you in the infield, you better be planning to get it to first base quickly. And he pops that one foul, right-hand side, 0-2 count. And the umpire is out of baseballs. Oh, 2 count now on the center fielder for the Wolves. And that one's high. Stays high. 1-2 now. Mingus Marauders trailing top of the 7, 2-1. Here's the pitch. There's a strike 3. And how about that? The 6th strikeout of the game. And he gets back-to-back. He gets facing looking that time. So that's going to bring up Blake Miller. Miller, the relief pitcher, back in the 6th inning. The lefty steps in, and he drives that one toward the hole, and it'll get through. 2-out knock by Brad Miller. That's his 3rd single of the game. So he is 3 for 4 with a strikeout. Landon Sloan steps in. The DH. Struck out in the first, lined out to the pitcher. And he pops that one high left field. Mingus has got 2 people over there, and the left fielder falling down makes the catch out there for the Mingus Marauders, and that's going to be Aiden Little with the catch and the put out. So Mingus gets out of the inning with the fly out to left field. Final chance for the Mingus Marauders coming up. They need 1 to tie, 2 to win in the bottom of the 7th. An exciting ball game here. It's going to be Buckner, Balo, and Davis coming up for Mingus when we return.
Your first set of wheels didn't come with complications, or strings, or hassles. It can be that way again. There's a simpler way to buy tires at Tire Pros.
We're hassle-free, guaranteed.
Well, back there at Mingus Union High School, the pitchers keep getting younger as the game goes on, as the Wolves now go to the freshman pitcher. Schaefer steps in, and he has got 1 appearance on the season. He pitched 1 inning, gave up no runs, no hits, no errors, no walks, and had 1 strikeout. And he will face the Mingus Marauders here. The righty. So they keep throwing different pitchers at Mingus. It's been 3 pitchers in a row. Becker started. Blake Miller did the 6th inning, and now it's going to be Schaefer's turn, who started in left field. Now he'll be the pitcher looking to make the save here for the Wolves. And he's got to get through the lights of Buckner. Buckner leads hitting for the Mingus Marauders, the backstop for Mingus. The sophomore catcher. This kid's got a career coming, I'll tell you that. An infield single in the first. Flied out to left field in the 3rd, and a hard smash grounder to the second baseman in the 5th. Couldn't hit it any harder, just had one of those right atoms. Schaefer goes through the windup and throws that one down low and inside. So the freshman trying to close it out. And a line drive right center field, and that one is going to be caught by the center fielder out there. Facing covered a lot of ground to catch that one, and Buckner is out number 1. Hit it on the button. I thought for sure that one was going to split the gap out there, but Faison with phenomenal speed in center field ran that one down. Holy cow, he is a weapon. You cannot hit the ball any better unless you hit it out of the ballpark. That was a hard line drive, right center field. Run down. All right. Balo comes up. He's got a 1-ball count. Fouls that one off. Make it 1-1. So Balo's been on base 3 times, and we need it to be a 4th. Mingus trying to rally down by 1. Bottom of the 7th. This is it. Mingus is down to its final 2 outs. And that one bounces to the plate and off the catcher Moore. 2-1 the count. That one was not hard to take. Balo got hit by a pitch. Thrown actually behind him. Breaking ball that did less than break. That was in the first inning. Helped load up the bases, but Mingus didn't score. He singled in the 3rd and singled in the 5th, and now he takes strike 2. 2-2 the count now. Balo's got to protect now. 2-2 the count. And that one bounces to the plate. Full count now. Full count, 3-2. 1 out, nobody on. Bottom of the 7th. Here's the pitch. A line drive, left field, and it is going to get down. That is going to be a fair ball. Turning the corner and getting to second without a throw that was a fair ball, yes? That was a fair ball. It made it down the line and then got down. I think the wind actually helped make it die out there. So a double, second double for the Mingus Marauders. Mingus has both extra base hits in the game. And Balo, have a game, kid. 3 for 3. Has been on base twice. Now represents the tying run for the Mingus Marauders out there. Cameron Davis steps in. Davis is 1 for 2. Walked in the first, flew out to center field hit the ball to the vacuum cleaner out there, center field, and then singled in the 5th. Getting lots of encouragement out there from the dugout, and he'll take strike 1. The freshman pitcher, Schauer, coming in to try to shut it down, is now out of the stretch. He's given up his first hit of the season. And the curveball, that was wicked. You could see that even from the side, an 0-2 count. That was a pretty pitch. 1 on, 1 out. Tying run on second, 2-1. And that one is low and inside. That was a good waste pitch. If you're going to waste one, that was a good waste pitch. That was close enough. Schauer uses the first base side of the rubber. Works quickly out of the stretch. And that one is strike 3. The ball gets away from the catcher. They are going to throw it down, and he is out at first. As Davis looks like he connected shins out there with the first baseman. But the strikeout and the ball getting away does send the tying potential run to third base. So Davis, the strikeout, throw him out. Coy Miller steps in. Chance to be the hero. He struck out twice. Also had a single and scored the only Mingus Marauder run. And he looks at ball 1. Schauer has the ability to be careful with Miller. He's got first base open, of course. A base hit here ties it. And there's a hard hit ground ball to the shortstop. He's up across the diamond and out at first. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it. The ground out to the shortstop. And you can't get any closer to a tie ball game as the Mingus Marauders have the tying run at third base. But they will fall to the Estrella Foothills Wolves out here by a score of 2-1. Holy cow, it has been a great ball game out here. here today. Glad you have been along with us, and hopefully we will have the opportunity to play more baseball tomorrow. If Mother Nature will stay with us, it'll be the Mingus Marauders and the Mojave Thunderbirds as Grand Canyon play gets underway coming up tomorrow. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll get into our post-game show here from Mingus Union High School, go through some stats, recap the game for you coming up after this.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Tandy, owners of Taylor Waste.
We are homegrown in the Verde Valley and nearly your last local choice.
We want to be your first choice for residential and small business garbage service.
Get a free month service when you make the switch to Taylor Waste.
And enjoy monthly service as low as $19 per month.
Visit TaylorWaste.com for more information.
Or to start service, call Taylor Waste at 649-2662.
Taylor Waste, service tailored to your needs.
The mouth is the gateway to the digestive system. Studies indicate a correlation between oral health and full body health. Regular cleanings and checkups can help protect you. New patients are welcome at Arizona Smile Designers in Cottonwood. There's a full smile worth of services all offered under one roof. Whitening and cosmetic to implants and smile reconstruction. Find out more or request an appointment online at azsmiledesigners.com.
And back here at Mingus Union High School, the Mingus Marauders fall to the Estrella Foothills squad. By the way, Estrella Foothills came in 10-1. Mingus 3-8-1 overall, and put up a phenomenal fight. As Scare had a great pitching day. You give up 2 runs in high school baseball, and he kept his team in it with a chance to win all the way to the end. Mingus had the final run, the tying run at third base when the final out was registered out here at Mingus Union High School. For the visiting squad from Estrella Foothills, Faison ended up 1 for 4 on the game, but defensively, the player of the game, no doubts about it. Blake Miller ends up 3 for 4, had a great game. Also pitched 1 inning, giving up no runs. Gave up his first hit of the season. Landon Sloan, 0 for 3 with a sacrifice. Jordan Linton ended up 0 for 3. Cody Rawlings, 1 for 2 with a run scored out here today. Brock DeBatista ends up 1 for 3 with the only RBI for the Wolves from Estrella Foothills. Dylan Moore, the catcher, ends up 1 for 2 with a run and a walk on the game. Peterson ends up 0 for 3, 0 for 2 for Schaefer, who ends up with the save in the game. The final inning pitched for the ball game, but he's 0 for 2 batting with a walk in the game. We're going to take a break here from Mingus Union High School. When we come back, we'll go through the Mingus Marauders stats for the game and recap the scoring when we return in 60 seconds.
All Price Insurance on Main Street in Cottonwood is your local insurance provider for personal and commercial insurance. Call and compare over 150 different insurance companies for home, auto, commercial, RV, motorcycle, boat, or ATV. Specialty insurance and insurance bonds are no problem at All Price Insurance in Cottonwood.
Lawler Construction has been a premier local builder of custom residential and commercial projects for 38 years. Using green construction methods, Lawler Construction builds efficiency into every custom design. Lawler Construction is a certified Energy Star builder. For examples, visit LawlerConstructionAZ.com. Thank you for your business, confidence, and continued referrals. Lawler Construction is a proud supporter of baseball and softball at all levels. Look for Lawler Construction Homes at Mountain Gate in Clarkdale.
Final score here today, the Mingus Marauders fall to the Estrella Foothills Wolves by the score of 2-1. A defensive battle all the way through. Mingus played superbly and just couldn't get the breaks to get the victory out here at home, and they fall to the Wolves, who now go on as 5-1 on the season in games that count outside of tournament games, and certainly have the inside track as a contender for the West Valley region, where they are probably going to dominate once again. Hey, for the Mingus Marauders here today, Landon McGurk ends up 1 for 3, the only RBI for the Mingus Marauders in a sacrifice fly. Pops Godina ends up 0 for 4 for the Mingus Marauders. Buckner 1 for 4 in the game. Hit the ball hard. Hit the ball absolutely hard twice. Didn't get anything to show for it. Ben Balo 3 for 3. Have a game, kid. 3 for 3, including a double and hit by a pitch, so he was on base 4 times in the game. Cameron Davis 1 for 3, added a walk to go along with it. Coy Miller 1 for 4 with a run scored. David Rodriguez ends up 1 for 2. Aiden Little 0 for 2 with a walk. And Julian Esquire ends up 1 for 2 and had a double and out at home plate, by the way. Out at home plate, attempting to score the Mingus Marauders tying run in the game. And unfortunately, a great throw from the outfield gets him out. The Wolves score both of their runs in the second inning. Cody Rawlings ends up with a single, comes around and scores, and he scores on a RBI single by Brock Batista. And then Moore, right behind him, Brock Batista ends up out at third on a fielder's choice, but Moore, who got on behind him with a single, ends up scoring on a passed ball or a wild pitch back in the second inning. So it was 2-0 for most of the game until the fourth inning. The Mingus Marauders had the bases loaded, 2 outs in the first, couldn't score. And then in the fourth inning, a leadoff single by Coy Miller, and then Rodriguez singles and sends him around a little bit, and then a walk loads the bases for Julian Esquire, a sacrifice fly for McGurk is the only RBI in the game, and coming around to score was Coy Miller. That was it for the Mingus Marauders until the sixth inning, when Esquire was thrown out at home after doubling, and a single by McGurk. Thought they had it. However, the Wolves played the right fielder very shallow out there, so the ball got to him quickly. A good throw home, no cutoff, and they get the runner out at home. Esquire is out at home with the slide. And then to finish out the game, a 1-out double by Ben Balo gives the Mingus Marauders a chance in the seventh to try to tie it. And then, unfortunately, 2 batters beyond that unable to get him home. He does get to third base on a strikeout, throw-him-out situation. So Mingus, 90 feet away from the tie out here in the bottom of the seventh inning, can't quite get it done, and they fall to the squad from Estrella Foothills, the Wolves, by a score of 2-1. Great baseball game, though, for you. Great baseball game. Hopefully we got another good one coming up for you if Mother Nature will play along with us tomorrow as the Mojave Thunderbirds come to town, and we'll see if the Mingus Marauders can bounce back for the Grand Canyon region home opener against the Thunderbirds coming up tomorrow. If it happens, and if Mother Nature allows us to play this whole week, we got lots of baseball and softball for you. Coming up Thursday, it's going to be the Lady Marauders and the Mojave Thunderbirds. That one will be back to television coverage on Thursday, and then 2 games as long as the adult softball fields down at Riverfront Park stay a semblance of dry. If they do, then we will have 2 games on Friday for you, and then another game on Saturday for you, and that will make up the Faith Moore Memorial Softball Tournament coming up Friday and Saturday. So, God willing, and as long as the river don't rise, we have got 5 more games coming up for you this week on KYBC AM 1600, 96.3 FM. Tomorrow's game will be a radio-only game, and then it'll be back to television and radio through Verde Valley TV. I'm Jackie Bessler. Raini Raini is back on the board, keeping us on the air and on live on KYBC. Want to thank her for all her efforts out here today. And until tomorrow, we will bid you adieu when it'll be the Mingus Marauders and Mojave Thunderbirds coming up tomorrow here on KYBC. Good night, everybody.
This has been a presentation of Mingus Marauder Sports. Any rebroadcast or use of this broadcast without written permission from Mingus Union High School, Studio G Multimedia, or Yavapai Broadcasting is expressly prohibited. Today's Mingus Marauder game has been sponsored in part by Taylor Waste, service tailored to your needs. Red Rock Collision, locally and family owned and working for you, not the insurance company. And Arizona Smile Designers. Smile big, smile bright. Visit azsmiledesigners.com. Mingus Marauder baseball sponsors also include Lawler Construction, quality-built custom homes and commercial projects. Northern Arizona Healthcare, improving health and healing people. And All Price Insurance, low monthly rates on reliable insurance. Thank you for tuning in on KYBC and Verde Valley TV. Go to YouTube/Verde Valley TV to watch all games on demand.